Good evening and welcome to the Cardinal Way for Men Live. My name is Ed Cardinal. Tonight I want to discuss a topic that's near and dear to my heart, something I've always had a connection to, and that is travel. Travel for me has been very transformational. In fact, my dad was a commercial pilot, and I think I got that travel bug from him and had been traveling my whole life and continued into adulthood for me. I remember when I was about 13 or 14 years old, and I'm going to date myself here, wearing this headset, listening to an 8-track tape of Boston, More Than a Feeling, and dreaming about taking a cross-country trip. And that sense of adventure and excitement, I felt it at 13 years old. And it wasn't until 1992, when I was in my 30s, that I did finally take that trip that I dreamed about as a child. And it was everything it was that I dreamed about. It was absolutely incredible experience. And it's always amazing when you can fulfill a dream, like I did when I took that trip. And I made it an educational experience. I went to a lot of national parks, and I had this old book about national parks. And before I would get to each park, I would read about it. So I informed myself all about that park and what was special about it and what was I going to see. And so I made it educational in the process. I'm going to read to you a journal, what I wrote in my journal when I took my first trip to Southeast Asia in 2004. And again, that trip changed my life, and I intuitively knew it was going to. Travel humbles me. I am surrounded by unrecognizable faces in a language that is alien. What is it about travel that pushes me to the limits, pushes my buttons? Is it about being away from comfort and safety of my home? Travel creates discomfort, an opportunity for change. Maybe that is why people for millennia have been venturing from the comfort of their homes to explore their inner realms. As I embark on each journey, a journey of self-discovery and wisdom, I am reminding that during my quest, one that each of us is called to make, and most don't listen, I am charting a course through the unknown, leading to personal sovereignty and lasting happiness. As you can see, this experience was profound for me, and each time I travel, it is a opportunity for self-discovery. When I was in Southeast Asia, it got me out of my routine. It got me out of my comfort zone because I was surrounded. I didn't know the language. I was at one point during that trip traveling by myself. I went with a group of 10 people and actually met my wife on that trip. But then I stayed longer. I was there for 7 weeks and traveled with a buddy that I ended up meeting. But it was just an opportunity to learn more about myself and to learn more about the culture, learn more about other people. It's an opportunity to meet people from all over the world, which I did, who are traveling there also, but also the local people. I also want to go back to my cross-country trip. One thing I learned on that trip was that when I would ask people, let's say I was going to a national park, I asked people who are local to that national park about how to get there or what I should do when I go. I found that most people, unfortunately, did not take advantage of what was in their backyard. And that's something I made a point of doing, and I do make a point of doing. When I live somewhere, I make sure I explore, and I know, and I know what's special around me, and I explore, and I get to know it. But unfortunately, a lot of people do not do that. So travel gives you an opportunity to learn more about yourself, get out of your comfort zone, meet new people, sort of expand your boundaries, and you realize that we're all connected on some level. I've met the most amazing people in Thailand. They don't have much, but what they do have, they would give you the shirt off their back. And those are profound experiences, and it makes you appreciate your home, and it makes you appreciate where you live. We live in a country where we have so much opportunity available to us, and when you travel to a place where they don't, it makes you grateful for what you do have. It makes you grateful to be alive and thankful. Also, you get to really dive deep into questions you might need answers to. For instance, there's been times when I've taken trips where I felt stuck in my life and I wanted to get some answers, and it's allowed me to do that because of it's creating that uncomfortability, that change in the routine. So it creates that opportunity for change, and generally I get the answers to my questions when I do travel like that. I hope that you all have the opportunity to travel like I do, and I hope I continue to travel for the rest of my life. I have a lot of other places on my bucket list that I want to explore, and I'm going to make sure that I take advantage of it and do that while I'm able-bodied. It reminds me of a message I got from another little client of mine. She was in her 80s, and I was getting ready to go to Italy, and she had been there many times. She was the assistant editor of Gourmet magazine at one time. And I told her where we were going, and we were going to Cinque Terre, which is 5 fishing villages connected by a walking trail. And she says, make sure you do it. The number of times I went to Italy, I never did that. She said, make sure you do the things you can do while you're able-bodied. Hope this was inspirational. And if it was, drop in the comment a place that you've traveled to that was life-changing, or a place on your bucket list that you want to go to. And until you see me again, be well. Take care. Bye-bye.